This podcast is a member of the New York City Podcast Network at nycpodcastnetwork.com. Visit us to listen to over 250 amazing podcasts just like this one.
Japanese street style is some of the cutest and trendiest clothing in the world. Introducing Cherry Goddess Women's Clothing and Accessories, the hottest original and cute clothing company. We offer tops, clothes, accessories, shoes, dresses and skirts, and comfortable homeware that we guarantee you will love. Cherry Goddess Women's Clothing, super cute Japanese style clothing.
Hello everyone. So apparently, the Boston Celtics coach was accused of doing sexual harassment in the workplace, and he's been suspended indefinitely for a whole year. The Boston Celtics coach name is Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka is a successful coach of the Boston Celtics. In the first year, he was able to take his basketball team to the NBA Finals. So this is a crushing blow for the Boston Celtics. Ime Udoka is also married to beloved actress in the African American community, Miss Nia Long. So Black Twitter is in awe about it because Nia Long is a beautiful woman and they cannot understand why would Ime Udoka would sleep with other women. It's easily, men with psychological issues, and they usually struggle with their trauma by sleeping with a whole bunch of women as a form of self-medication. It's more common than many people think. This is Jeffrey Frazier of Black Wall Street Chronicles, and I'm going to read a couple of articles. I'm going to do a deep dive, and I'm going to tell you what my opinion is of the situation. Now, I'm going to read this first article from the New York Post. It was written by Mark W. Sanchez. The title of the article is Celtics Call Ime Udoka Suspension While Warranted in Somber Press Release. The Celtics shed little light Friday on the circumstances that led the franchise to suspend head coach Ime Udoka for the entirety of the 2022-23 season. During a news conference, the team's brain trust said that the one-year ban after violations of team policies, which reportedly included an inappropriate intimate relationship with a female Celtics staffer, was well warranted and backed by the substantial research and evidence and fact. These were the words of Wyc Gosjabek, the majority owner and governor of the Celtics, who, along with the president of basketball operations, Brad Stevens, stated, citing privacy as a reason that the team cannot comment directly on the events that led to the suspension. The Athletic reported late Thursday night that the female staffer recently accused Udoka of making unwanted comments to her. The Celtics said that they were alerted to a potential situation involving Udoka over the summer, which led to the hiring of an independent law firm that conducted an investigation. The investigation had some twists and turns, and it took some time to develop all the facts. Gosjabek told reporters in Boston on Friday, one day after the announcement, everything we know was wrapped up 2 days ago. The Celtics said no one else, including the woman reportedly involved, has been disciplined or is expected to be disciplined. Udoka is facing a significant financial penalty, Gosjabek said, after the investigation found a couple of violations by a head coach who had led Boston to the NBA Finals last season. Team icon Paul Pierce tweeted that the punishment should not just be a fine, not a suspension, and the Celtics acknowledged that reaching the one-year ban decision was not simple. This felt right, but there's no clear guidelines for any of this, said Guzbeck, who added a diverse group of advisors weighed in on the decision. I took a lot of advice from partners like Brad and others. We collectively came to this and got there. It was not clear what to do. But it was clear that something substantial needed to be done, in my view, and it was. Stevens grew emotional when reflecting upon the social media speculation that took off when reports emerged concerning the relationship. The Twitter attempted to narrow down Udoka's partner by digging into women who are employed by the Celtics. We have a lot of talented women in our organization, said Stevens, who has been with Boston for nearly a decade. I thought Thursday was really hard on them. I think nobody can control Twitter speculation and rampant BS, but I do think that we as an organization have a responsibility to make sure we are there to support them now, because a lot of people were dragged unfairly into that. I'm going to read the second article from the New York Post. It's written by Jenna Lemoncelli. Okay. Nia Long's ex reveals how she's dealing with the NBA's affair scandals. Nia Long is sued by her fiancé, Celtics coach Ime Udoka, after his reported affair, according to her ex, Masai S.Z. Dorsey. We talked as a family, and it's all about unconditional love, and that's what she's given him, Dorsey told Daily Mail while discovering the scandal that rocked the Celtics organization last month. Udoka was handed a one-year suspension for the 2022-23 season after the Celtics announced that their head coach had violated team policies, reportedly by having an improper relationship with a female team staff member. We're sticking by him 100%, Dorsey, 51, said. Amy made a mistake. Every man needs another chance. Like the Bible said, the flesh is weak. He's not a bad guy. Hopefully he learned from this. This is the next article that I'm about to read. Give me 1 second. Is a journeyman basketball player by the name of Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes keeps dropping hits on the Ime Udoka scandal, and it's just keep getting worse. By Ryan Glass-Steagall. Matt Barnes continued to imply there's something sordid that went on behind the scenes with Ime Udoka. At the outset of the story, when it's reported to the now suspended Celtics coach had a consensual affair, Barnes defended Udoka, but then the former NBA gentleman did about-face and said the situation was 100 times uglier than he had previously thought. Barnes appeared on Vlad TV and continued to discuss the matter. As seen from the owners to the dancers and everything in between, it's kind of his own little reality show. Barnes said about the general fooling around that others like Stephen A. Smith have asserted is commonplace in professional sports and organizations. Again, to each his own, no one's claiming to be perfect. But then Barnes doubled down on his insinuations that there is more out there than has been reported publicly with the Udoka scandal. But like it's heard, it's not what he did, it's about who he did it with, and that is really kind of going to flip the game upside down when it comes to this instance, Barnes said. This is not something that's only the NBA. This happens in the workplace all around. But like I said, it's not so much the act. It has been reported by TMZ that Udoka had an affair with a stapler who arranged travel logistics for the team and was even involved in making hotel plans for Udoka's fiancée, actress Nia Long. Shams Christopher has reported that in The Athletic that an investigation conducted by the Celtics revealed that Udoka made unwanted comments towards a woman who he had an affair. Udoka, who took the team to the NBA Finals in his first year as head coach, was suspended for at least a year by the team. The organization has been tight-lipped about the specifics of what he did, but owner Wick Gushbeck said in the press conference that the harsh discipline was well-warranted and backed by substantial research and evidence and fact. Matt Barnes currently co-hosts All the Smoke podcast with fellow journeyman and veteran and retired basketball player Stephen Jackson. Yeah, this scandal is crazy. I'm going to read one more article and I'm going to give my opinion. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm going to see if I can get the name of the female staffer. Can't find the woman's name. Yeah, it's better. Maybe they're trying to protect her. They don't want to put her on blast. Like I was reading articles earlier. The owners and the Celtics organization is basically saying that with all the allegations by Twitter, there's been a lot of pressure and a lot of false accusations that's been put on women. And it's actually been very bad and very uncomfortable for them, and I give my heart out to these women. Now, here's my opinion on the matter. When I was an intern with the New York State Department of Civil Service, we've received many training certifications, and the training certification that I received is sexual harassment. That's one of them. Sexual harassment training is necessary to prevent situations that happen in the Boston Celtics. Problem with men is that men, you don't have control over your libidos and you're not able to keep your stuff in your pants. The problem is if you don't have control of your libidos and you mess around in the workplace, you can find a woman, very nasty woman, who will use bedroom politics and use your thirstiness as a come-up. You have to control your libidos and control your emotions, because you don't. Not only is going to affect you, it's going to affect the company. It's going to affect your friends and your family members. There's a whole bunch of people who will get affected because you can't control yourself. And I understand, fellas, I understand that there's a lot of narcissists and what the internet calls 304s and whatnot. And you have these toxic women in the workplace. I don't know this woman. I don't know if she's a toxic person, but it's very ugly. We don't have that many black coaches in the NBA. You know, they rarely give black men opportunities to be the head coach. So to see this guy who, in his first year, took that team to the NBA Finals. Black man has tremendous upside in basketball because he was a student of the great Greg Popovich. For him to mess it up like this is bad. And I want young men who's listening to this to take heed. You know, don't mess around with women in the workplace. Thank you for listening to this short podcast episode. This is Black's Wall Street Chronicles, and I'm signing off.